Cage Siders.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cage Siders right here on the LB Sports Network. We're in the Fox Sports 98.9 FM, 1340 AM studios doing our thing. And, man, we are trying to make sense of the latest happenings with Canelo-GGG, the sequel to the controversial first fight that happened last September. And, a lot of things happening. It looks like the fight may be in danger. So, for the latest, we're going to turn to Gilbert Manzano from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Gilbert, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
Man, what is the latest you're hearing? It doesn't look too good for Canelo-GGG right now. Yeah,
it does not. It's, at first everybody's thinking, he'll get a temporary fine. It's all for show. Then you get a temporary suspension. Fight still fine. And then you get a complaint from the Nevada Commission. And now the fight is in serious jeopardy. It's not looking good for Canelo Alvarez or Golovkin for his rematch with Canelo at T-Mobile Arena May 5th. It sounds like this fight is off. They're already offering refunds from the MGM. If you bought the tickets on Access.com or T-Mobile Arena, get your money back. So all those signs point to no fight on Cinco de Mayo.
Now, Gilbert, you're the one who kind of shook the boxing world when you dropped the knowledge that they started offering full fight refunds for those. How far along were the ticket sales? I mean, was it close to being sold out? Are we talking big numbers here?
Yeah, definitely. Tom Loffer, who promotes Golovkin, said they were close to a sellout, and that was about a week ago. So it could have been at 20,000 plus tickets already. The first fight drew about 22,000, I think it was, which is the biggest for a boxing event at T-Mobile Arena. So there was a lot of money on the line, and for MGM to kind of not wait for that hearing, especially with so many tickets that they already sold, they wanted to get a head start because they're hearing like what I'm hearing, what the reporters are hearing, that this fight, you look at the rule book, whatever the Nevada Commission has. I think the suspension is a year to half a year. And the MGM's not waiting. They want to get these tickets, this money back to the fans. And instead of having everybody, all confused and mad and what's going on with the money, so they got a head start on this.
Yeah, it looks like they have. And it's very rare. I mean, unless they are hearing something, unless they're, pretty certain. I mean, it's Vegas after all. Unless they're pretty certain that something may not be happening, it's very rare for them to go and do a full push and say, you know what, yeah, if you want your money back, come get it. So, they're probably hearing a lot of things just like you are. Looking at this fight, I mean, what does this do? With the positive test and with this fight maybe falling apart, what does this do for Canelo's legacy? What does it do to it? Do you think it's going to have any kind of impact at all?
Oh, it's definitely going to leave an impact. It's just like the thing about Canelo, he's always been an advocate about, guys who are cheating or an advocate against guys who are cheating and taking PED. He's always been a guy who says he's in shape. He doesn't understand why guys are missing weight all the time. And then you get this out of nowhere. It seems like we always get this. When in baseball, when A-Rod was a golden boy, he got caught. You got Lance Armstrong, he got caught. But, over time, sometimes, people forget. You come back and, you apologize. And if you just kind of admit to it, you don't make it worse. You just, take your licks and you move on. So that's what I want to do with Canelo. He's going to be ready to admit his mistake if there was a mistake, or just keep going with the excuse about the contaminated meat, because that's an excuse that's been used over and over again. So hopefully there's a real reason there. Hey, Canelo could just, take the blame for it, move on, and then hopefully he comes back in September and we have a good fight again.
Now, Mexican fans have a history. They put their boxing heroes on a pedestal. There was already early in his career a lot of kind of pushback against Canelo, just coming up and the way he looked and the way he sounded and the way he boxed and everything. I mean, are you saying the Mexican fans are going to be a little bit more forgiving, maybe able to forget eventually in time? But I mean, if this goes through and he's found to have, either knowingly or unknowingly, put the substance into his body. Do you think? I mean, are eventually at the end of his career, do you think they're going to say, yeah, he's one of the all-time greats, or are they going to go, it's always got to have a little bit of an asterisk next to it, like you mentioned, an A-Rod and Lance Armstrong, people like that?
The thing about the Mexican fans, all they really care about is about put it on a show. They want to see is the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears. Yep. We figure about Canelo Alvarez. He's been fighting for a long time. He's only 27 years old. If he comes back from this, he puts on so many great shows. And the thing about I always hated about the knock about Canelo is like he's overrated. Well, this guy's fighting the best fighters of all time already. He's already fought. He fought Floyd Mayweather, and he fought Triple G. Right. And I think he's one of the best. I think he's a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. So, he had to take up here. But if he comes back, 27 years old, puts on great shows after great shows, after a point in time, people forget about that. I know Manny and Floyd never got caught or anything like that, but they've had hiccups with that. The Ivy with Floyd Mayweather, right. The Pacquiao going up in weight so many times. People have always kind of questioned them too, but we still recognize guys for being great fighters. There's been guys that have been popped. Eric Morales, he had the same problem. He's still a legend. People love Eric Morales from the Mexican community. So right. He can get over this. I know Canelo's kind of been the one that's kind of been, not as welcome or embraced in Mexico, but when he comes back and he fights the best and he puts on great shows, people are going to forget over time.
Now, we're talking once again to Gilbert Manzano from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. A lot of stuff being thrown around by fans on social media, on Twitter. They're saying, hey, like you said, this isn't like this guy's first fight. He's been in this for a long time. Is it fair for fans to ask guys like Canelo who live out of country in these in these countries that their meat supply can put trace amounts of substances in their body? Is it fair of them to ask them, hey, you're a multimillionaire, you need to ship in your own beef, you need to be more careful? Is that a fair response from fight fans?
I think it is fair, and it's from fight fans. It's from your opponent, promoters, like the casinos, the arenas. All these people are relying on you to make all this money. The fans are in limbo right now. People made a trip, not just to buy tickets to a fight. They bought tickets to Las Vegas, hotels, whatever's going on, a concert. They have all this money tied up, and it's all on Canelo right now that he's, letting them down. If it's true that he, took this contaminated meat or whatever it was, PED, whittling or not, he should just step up right now and say, hey guys, this fight's not going to happen. Get your money, move on to different plans, because especially with Canelo, he's been a guy who's we've seen on 24/7 HBO documentary have his own personal chef. He's a guy who was at 154 for so many years. I'm always thinking, how does this guy make weight all these years at 154? It seemed like he was taking care of his body. His two trainers, Eddie and Chepo Reynoso, used to be butchers. They're the ones who are experts in the meat industry. Everybody around him should know that you don't mess with the meat in Mexico, especially as it's been an excuse for so many years, and you got so much money on the line. So for fans to say, hey, what happened here? What you should, take care better of your diet, which for Canelo has never been an excuse. So I'm just wondering, why not Canelo? Why the hiccup? Why the slip up? Why didn't a trainer catch this? Why didn't Golden Boy catch this? Why did Canelo even eat this, whatever it is? So the thing about we don't know right now is what happened. Canelo has not spoken to the media yet.
Yeah, it's looking like this may not happen. Regardless of what the outcome here is in the next couple of weeks with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, all signs are pointing to this fight not happening here on May 5th. But Triple G has stated that he's still ready to go. He's wanting to do it. He's in full camp. He's still doing his thing. Who do you see as a potential replacement for Canelo if he's found guilty and not be able to participate?
Man, this is a really tough situation for Golovkin. I actually saw Golovkin and Abel in Los Angeles yesterday for the Andre the Giant premiere, and those two guys look like they're as confused as we are. I think, just looking at Golovkin, he's just like stressed out. He didn't have the same smile he usually does. I think he's really confused at what's going on.
Right.
And they really want to fight May 5th in Las Vegas, single them out. That's a big holiday for boxing, and Golovkin would love to fight on there with Canelo or not, but it's just hard to do with a late replacement. That's what I'm saying. If Canelo steps up and admits to it right now instead of waiting for April 18th, maybe there's a better shot to get a better opponent in there. But the guys that that we will want to see Golovkin in there when it's not Canelo, it could be a guy like Daniel Jacobs for a rematch, but he already has a fight for April 28th, and it doesn't look like they're going to move that fight or cancel it to put him in May 5th from HBO. I think they just made that fight into I guess the winner becomes a mandatory for Golovkin, so they're taking that fight, I guess, serious already. And the other one is Billy Joe Saunders. He already has a fight too, and I think in June, and the guy has a hand injury right now, so I don't think he's ready to fight. Right. So you're looking at a guy you probably never heard of, a guy who's like, maybe top 10 in the middleweight rankings you've never heard of from who knows where. So the thing about, what I loved about Golovkin before he got into the Canelo series, I guess, he was a guy who fought often. He fought 3 to 4 times a year, and he always knocked guys out. So we could probably see that again. I know it's going to be a Joe Schmo late replacement in there. Right. But, people love a knockout, so it could be another spectacular performance from Golovkin. Maybe like a 5th round KO, single him out, and then we'll be satisfied with that fight. Hopefully we get the Canelo rematch in September.
Well, the minimum suspension is a year. They could cut that in half to 6 months. That puts it around the middle of August. If it all falls through, do you think it's realistic to see this once again, maybe Mexican Independence Weekend in September?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. The thing is, the commission is actually going for a full year suspension. Mm-hmm. But too many times, when the commission comes down to stuff like this, they reduce it, but it has to be, again, on Canelo willing to, admit that he was wrong for taking it, or, just working with the commission somehow where, he's like, I guess, forgiving. He said he messed up or whatever it is. He has to give some type of story that the commission is willing to cut this down to 6 months. That's why we feel like this fight is over, because it's going to be either a year or 6. So it's not for Canelo to make it better and make it 6. That way, by the time September rolls around, it's over. Suspension is done, forgotten. Triple G has fight in May, and then we're back on for this rematch. But we'll see. I'm just very surprised that the commission is going this far. Too many times we've seen when it comes to money in Las Vegas and Nevada, they go for the money. They're going to help out. They're going to help the mega fights happen. But they're taking it very serious. They said in 2016 when they changed the rules that, hey, we're not messing around with PDDs. It's going to be a year or 6 months, and that's it. And they're actually sticking to that rule book.
Man, oh man, we will see. It is like you said earlier, everyone's just kind of confused right now. Not really clear on what's going to happen, what may not happen. We're not really sure. I want to get your opinion on something, man. It broke on TMZ just a little while ago. Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champ, on the Breakfast Club this morning with Charlemagne the God and Angela Yee, stated multiple times that he, in fact, wants to kill a man in the boxing ring. What are your thoughts when you hear something like that, when you hear a heavyweight champion say, yeah, multiple times, I want to kill somebody in the ring?
That's not a good thing you want to hear. I know with boxers, sometimes they're allowed to kind of say more because, it's not really, I guess you don't want to call it a sport. They don't play games in there. This is a real life and death situation. But when you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you got to watch your words, and stuff like that doesn't fly anymore. I know in the Mike Tyson days in the 90s, and you can say whatever you want, but you got to be careful nowadays, and especially with the people getting the TTE and stuff like that, and it's just not right now. So hopefully Deontay maybe thinks about it when he goes home. I know heavyweight champions love to trash talk, but it's not the right thing to do, and we'll see. Sometimes guys who say like the weirdest things helps out their status or profile. Like Mayweather says the craziest things, and sometimes it benefits them. But I don't know how Deontay Wilder will look good after this.
Yeah. Pretty, in my opinion, pretty irresponsible for a guy in his position to say stuff like that, especially given what they do and the fact that, boxers do sometimes die in the ring or because of what happens in the ring. Really, really wild stuff for him to say that. And tomorrow, of course, the flip side of that coin is tomorrow, Parker, Joshua, final look at it going into it, man. What do you think? Who do you see taking this one?
Hey, we're finally talking about a fight, Jeremy. I'm glad. This is a big fight. There's no controversy here. There's no comments, no suspension. This is a big heavyweight championship fight between Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker. And Joseph Parker is actually a Las Vegas resident. He's a good guy. I talked to him recently. I'll have a story in the Review Journal on Saturday on Joseph Parker from New Zealand. But I don't think we should discredit or discount Parker. I think he's going to give Joshua a good challenge in there. We saw that Joshua, already got rocked by Klitschko, but he had a great rally in that fight. And I think Joshua is younger, stronger, faster than Vladimir Klitschko. So, Parker. Sorry, I'm confused there. Yep. But Parker is a younger, faster fighter. I think he's 26 years old. Joshua obviously has been, is in his prime. He's fought some great guys already, and he's going to unify again for 3 belts. What I'm excited for is that those 3 belts there in the heavyweight division, it feels like a long time. We had these big fights. We had it last year with Klitschko and Joshua. Right. Now we got Joshua Parker, and hopefully the winner fights Deontay Wilder and his crazy antics there.
It should be a lot of fun. Watch these guys throw some bombs tomorrow, man. It's going to be, we're looking at, we're here in Vegas. We're looking at crazy odds. Parker, the massive underdog. Do you believe this? I'm seeing this as fool's gold, man. I don't think Parker's nearly the walkover that people are thinking.
No, definitely not. I think Parker has a good shot. And the thing about the heavyweight division, it just takes one punch. These guys are big. They all have power. So, like I said, we've seen Joshua go down, get rocked, and so we'll see. And I think I saw the over/under is 8.5 with the over being the more money. So I'll go the over. I think this fight's gonna go over 8.5 rounds. We can see what we saw with Ortiz and Wilder. It took 11th round there. I think it was 10th round there, and Joshua Klitschko was 11th round. So these really good heavyweights take a while to kind of settle in. And after maybe the 6th, 7th round, these bombs start bombs away, and then we'll see what happens there. But I'm really excited for this fight. I think it's gonna be really close. I'll still give the edge to Anthony Joshua. Because we all want to see Deontay Wilder, Joshua in the ring. I think Joshua's still the best heavyweight fighter in the world, but Parker, he's no pushover, definitely.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Gilbert Manzano from the Las Vegas Review Journal. Gilbert, if people want to follow you online, because you're always breaking stories, you always got the latest updates, you and your news partner, Brian Salmon, out there, where can they follow you? How do they get in touch with you, man? Yeah,
they can find me on Twitter at gmanzano24. Or send me an email. I love talking boxing. Or you have a news tip. My email, gmanzano@reviewjournal.com. And make sure to check out our videos with Brian Simon. You mentioned him. He's a great boxing guy at reviewjournal.com boxing.
There you go. Gilbert, thank you so much, man, for taking time out of your busy schedule, chatting with us this morning, man, and nothing but the best. We'll see you on the other side, all right?